Tuesday, I don't know what's going on here. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories I like to bring to you. I'm also over on the TikTok, which is JessRose5472, or my Patrons, patreons.com/JessRose5472. Any of the above, or you can just watch. It is alive, so I'm just going to wait for a few of the guys to join, and then I'll start the story. But don't worry, there's no chopping and changing while I'm doing it. Once I start, I don't stop. So I'm just going to say hello to a couple of the guys in the live, and then we'll begin. Hey sis, how are you? Goes quick. This week, I feel like it's going slow, but now I'm here, I feel like it's gone quick. It's weird. It's a weird week this week. That's really coming up, that is. Anna, can you see? Can you tell? Do you know, I haven't even got any makeup on. Evening, Phil. How are you? How are you? We missed you the other night. How was your did you no, you didn't have a barbecue, did you? Well, did you have a good time though? Oh, yeah, I can't believe how quick it's gone. But I was only thinking earlier, this is the longest week of the world. Oh no, look. I'm not one of them girls on thingy. Should I put it up against paper? Look, watch this. No makeup. Pizza, that was it. Yes, it was, and I love a pizza. I haven't had a pizza in a while, actually. I love a pizza. I might try and get one this weekend. That was my makeup, my beauty brand thing. I don't know what I'm doing with my fringe hair. It's all gone. It looked fine earlier. It's all gone to pot. I know, I was eating it against it. I've got to admit, though, I think it was about half an hour. It was too hot. But I love it. I'm not moaning. You won't hear me moan. Loved it. Take no notice of this behind me. Phil, I look like I have clouds behind me. It's not. I'm washing all my cushion covers. So it's the inside of my cushions you're looking at there. So, yes, that's what's going on there. It looks like clouds on camera, but it's not. It's been really warm today. I think it's just going to get warmer now over the weekend, isn't it? Oh, I hope it's like this when the kids break up, though. Past few years, as soon as they break up, it's like winter. So I'm really hoping it stays warm in the holidays. You should see how brown my legs are as well. I have very brown legs. But I'm not showing you on camera because it doesn't show up. They're not as dark as my arm, and my arm doesn't even show up on camera, so I'm not showing you my legs. But in real life, they look really brown. But what are we doing the weekend then, guys? Are we working, Phil? I did, thank you. Yes, I did, Phil. It was amazing. Austin has his second year. Oh, no. How did he get on? I feel sad. Oh, but did he get on okay? And yes, Phil, I had an amazing holiday. It was beautiful. Just goes too quick. I want to go for 2 weeks next time. I don't know where I'm getting the money from, but I'd love to go for 2 weeks. Or even just 10 days. I just think a week's not enough. It's just not long enough, is it? But, oh, it was beautiful. Just food and drink on demand. Drinking at like 11 o'clock in the morning all day. It was just amazing. Got a handshake and a sticky. Oh, he's a nerd. He's a geek. I love that. I love that for him. I have a geek too. So this is good. This could be really positive. Oh, and he's got no work at all this weekend. Excellent, Phil. Oh, so you can enjoy the sunshine. Do you like the sun, Phil? Are you like me? Well, you've got Tiffany who doesn't, not really. And then you've got me who loves the sun. You need a cool kid, sis. Isn't it? You need he really is. You need a cool kid. You've got a cool kid. You've got 2 of them. You have 2. I have. See, mine's kind of cool, but he's still a nerd. He's kind of a cool nerd. Do you feel? Yes, and me. I love the sunshine. Absolutely not. I'm laughing, but what's absolutely not? I forgot what I've asked again. Was it absolutely not? None of mine are cool. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. The eldest one, very cool. She's beyond cool. She's literally like, oh no, I'm cool. Don't talk to me. Kind of cool. That's how cool she is. She's like, don't approach me. Don't look at me. Do you know what, Phil? It could be. The other night, well, I don't think Hayley joins on a Thursday because I think she's watching her boys. Jessica might join us. She did come in the other night. She is a fight me kind of kid. She is. That's what makes her cool. Warwick wasn't in. You wasn't in. Literally the other night, it was Tiffany, Hayley, and Jessica. It was a girls' night. So it could just be you and Tiffany tonight, to be honest, Phil. I don't know where Warwick is. I know he said he was. I mean, maybe he went later. Because I'm sure I was off for 2 weeks. And I'm sure it was the second week he said he was away. But I thought he was back this week. Maybe it's next week. Which was so fun. It was fun. Don't be mean. Leave Phil's wife alone. Leave his little wifey alone. They were being mean the other night, Phil. But she's got a thick skin. She can take it, which I'm very happy about. I'm very happy she can. She takes it very well. You've got to stop scaring people off, Tiffany. That's why we're down to 2. There were days when there was like 8 as standard. Everyone's gone. But your wife started on me. I cried and everything. No, she did not. You were being mean. Sorry for me spoiling the girl power. No, do you know what? I think it could be a good thing. Never leave girls alone for too long. Never do that. It never ends well, ever. So it's always good to break it up a little bit. The way my fringe is going there, it's looking like I got a unibrow. Yeah, it's not good to leave a few girls on their own together for too long. It gets very catty, Phil. It gets very catty. So, she was being a little bit of a meanie, but like I say, Jessica took it very well, bless her. I didn't even look at all the comments, to be honest, but it's just what I caught at me. Oh, and Phil, guess who came in again? Tyler. Tyler was back. Phil, she did. It was me being my usual amazing self, and she pulled my hair and kicked me. She did not. Leave her alone. Yeah, Tyler was in the other night, Phil. Tiffany had to do her thing the other night. I didn't see him. I was doing the story, but yes, apparently he went a bit too far the other night. So he was swiftly seen out the door. So I believe. But yes, I didn't quite make out what he'd said and what he'd done. But I believe he'd overstepped a boundary. Where am I? I'm only kidding, Phil. It was a lovely girly night. It was nice. But we love the boys back. We do. We need them. We need them back. Otherwise, it, like I say, it just ends up devolving into just cattiness. Right, okay, well, I'm going to do the story for the 2 of yous then. I might just do that. I think Jessica will be in. She normally comes in a bit later, doesn't she? I'm not going to say while she's having a McDonald's because I was made to feel like I was giving a stick last time, and I genuinely wasn't. I just thought maybe they're her McDonald's notes. But she could just be having dinner. I don't know. But I reckon she'll be in a bit. She should be in a bit. She usually is. I don't know if Kelly will be in. I haven't seen Kelly again in a while. Sharon we haven't seen. Who else? Who else have we lost? So we lost Kelly, didn't we? We lost Sharon. I think Sharon might come back, maybe. Natalie sometimes. And Jilly. They might. I've been off for a couple of weeks though, haven't I? So they might pop in. Yes, Phil, you not being here. Tyler tried it on with your Jessica, so I kicked him. Oh, did he try it on with Jessica? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, naughty Tyler. I didn't know that. Oh, at least he's moved on. Anyway, that's something. Who else are we missing? Natalie. There was 2 Natalies at one point. Yeah, there was a Natalie that Tiffany scared away. No, it wasn't. It was Ashley. Oh, okay. Was he both of us? He must just like the name Jessica. It must be a thing for him. Yeah, there was Ashley that you got rid of. Then there was what was her name with the A? I know, Phil. Don't let that happen. What was her name now? Oh God, Tiffany, what's her name? Oh, what's her name now? Who kept on causing trouble? Oh, I can't remember her name. Was it Adriana? Wasn't. It wasn't Adriana. Was it Audriana? Audriana. It wasn't Adriana. Was it? Is that what it was? Doesn't sound right. I think it was though, wasn't it? Oh, I can't remember. But we had her. It wasn't Adriana. Tiffany wasn't. It was, can you remember, Phil? What that girl's name was? I'm sure it wasn't Adriana. It wasn't. It was something like that, and it was definitely an A. But I don't think it was Audrey. No, that's too long. Ariana. There we go. Ariane. It wasn't Anna. It wasn't Anna or anything. Ariane. That's it. Yeah, but I married Jessica first, so bugger all. Yes, exactly, Phil. Stamp it down. You're going to have to wee on her. Put your seal down. Ariane. That's it. I knew it. There was no. That's right. Yes, it was Ariane. I knew there was no Anna in it. I knew it didn't sound right. It was too long. So we lost her. Then we lost. Well, there was no love lost there, was there? Really, bless her. Then there was Kelly, who's come back though. She's come back a couple of times. Then Sharon's. We haven't seen in a while. And then, who else did we lose? Jerome. We haven't seen Jerome in a very long time. And then Natalie and Jilly come in occasionally, don't they? So we keep losing. People keep dropping off. I wonder if it's because I'm off. When I go off, maybe. It could be, but I have children. I have to do things. I can't, I have to, although I don't like it either. I don't like being away too long either. I don't like that. Yes, but he wanted our Jess, Phil. He was very sleazy. Yes, he was. Oh, was he? I don't know why I'm saying yes, he was. Did he go low, did he? I didn't look back. I should have looked back on the comments. But, yeah. Warwick, yeah, Warwick. We lost Warwick. Well, I'm hoping not, Phil. I'm hoping he comes back. But I'm genuinely thinking maybe he went a week later or something. Maybe that's what it was. But he hasn't commented on any of the videos either. At all. I don't know. Did he go really uncomfortable? Did he? Oh, I'm going to have a look, because I didn't end up looking through the comments. Do you know what it is? The comments, as I've said, don't show up until sort of the following afternoon. Not the comments when the story goes up, the live comments. For some reason, it doesn't let me see them until like the following day. So normally by then, I kind of forget, and but I will have to have a look through because I didn't know he'd gone a bit sleazy. Right, okay, we're 15 minutes in then. Guys, it's just going to be the two of yous this evening. And at the end, I'm going to talk to you about something because I've been pondering. I might as well mention it now, actually, while we're here. Have yous, Phil and Tiffany, have yous noticed my view? Actually, Phil, I don't know if... Phil, can you tell what views I get on a video? I don't know what access you've got to things. So I know you get, before Tiffany goes, you can't see it. I know, but I'm just, because my views are absolutely shocking. I didn't have my power, so I had to ask Haley to, yeah. Oh, because of your phone. Yeah, but Tyler is well out of it. I got it first. Yes, 100%. He's not even in the equation, Phil. That's why they were very protective the other night. He wasn't even in the equation. But yeah, my views are, they're beyond, like, low, like, really low. Like, I think even when I started the channel and I was brand new, I don't think my views were that low. When I first started this channel, I used to try and judge it that I'd be okay if I got 24 views in 24 hours. Hi, Jessica. How are you? We've just been talking about you. We've been telling Phil about Tyler, and he's saying, no, that's not on. So, yeah, I didn't realise he'd gone below the belt the other night, though. So, luckily, Haley was there and Tiffany to bump him away. But I was just mentioning, like, my views are really, like, really low. Yes, your views don't make sense. They go up, no comments, and then low. It doesn't add up. I know. I mean, Warwick's been saying it for a really long time. Like, the views and the comments and stuff just don't make sense. I don't get what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 lives a week, which is practically 3 hours a week. Even if you get someone doing 3 videos a day at 10 minutes a piece, I'm by the end of the week, I'm only, 30 minutes behind them. So I'm putting a lot of content up. But for some reason, my views, and then, all right, if you don't like the lives, that's fine, because then I put it up on the pre-recorded where there is no live, there is none of this, there is no chatting back and forth. It's just the story. That's why I do the 2 intros and the 2 outros. So Tiffany is number 1 and I'm number 2. Hopefully Phil would be number 3. Oh, we haven't checked the top fans today, have we? Oh, Phil, you're not even on there for some reason. Why is Phil not on there? Oh, I wonder why Phil's not on there. Hold on, let me see if it'll let... Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, why is Phil not on my top fans? I wonder what's going on there. We've got a top fans thing now, Phil. And I thought it was everyone who was on here, so I don't know why he's not on there. But yeah, Tiffany, I don't know what's going on, so I don't know, would I be better doing 1 live and 1 pre-recorded? But the reason I'm not too keen on doing that is because I'm doing pre-recorded ones, like, in the sense of I'm putting them up on there. So I don't know. I mean, 2 or 3 have gone up in the past week on there. And the last one I put up on, Jessica commented, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. It got 5 views, like, all day. I just don't understand what's happening. I don't get it. I really don't. I'm really confused. I don't know whether to get someone to do my thumbnails for me. I don't know if it's the thumbnails that just aren't cutting it now. I know there's a lot of AI. There's an awful lot of AI videos just popping up daily on true crime ones. YouTube problem, not your fault. Oh, thank you, Phil. Yeah, I think there's an awful lot of AI now. And it's got so good that it takes me. It's the other day, it took me about 15 minutes to suss that it was an AI video. Very all on the true crime. I don't know if it's hitting the other sort of genres of YouTube, other content creators, other content. But on the true crime, it's great if you like true crime, to be honest, but for us, it's terrible. Yeah, YouTube is great, but can be a pain also. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just don't. I'm gonna keep on chugging along. I love this. I love chatting to you guys twice a week. I genuinely do. So nothing's gonna stop that, but it does make me think, what's going on? Like I've got 260 odd videos on there now. I've been doing it for 6 years. And when I check these AI videos, they've only been running since May. They've been up 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And they're up to thousands of subscribers and thousands of views. And it's just annoying. Yeah, I watch on YouTube. Ah, that's really sweet, Tiffany. Am I? Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. Is it because it's all on the TikTok? It's all the TikTok. See, over on TikTok, I don't do too bad. One of my videos the other day got like 800 views quite quickly. So it does well over there. I just don't get it. Maybe because Phil didn't come on when the fan number list started. Yeah, I don't know, Jessica. I don't know what's gone on. But I have noticed that we're 22 minutes in and it's a longer video. So let's go. Let's start. I'll leave you to it. So let me start my intro, my second intro. And we'll get going. Brutal story, guys. Just a heads up. As they all are, but it's just awful. So... Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays stories that I like to bring to you. I'm also over on the TikTok. It's TikTok 547 Jess Rose 5472. And if you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. If you are watching this and you do get it, I'm just really confused. I'm really confused as to what's going on with my videos and stuff. So I'd really appreciate it if you could even just drop a one-word comment in the comment section and drop a like. I genuinely would appreciate it. I don't normally push that much, but I don't know what's going on, guys, out there. And if you are watching, I think I'm in huge competition with AI videos and stuff. So I just really appreciate it. Yeah, if you could just drop a comment in, it'd be very much appreciated. Or do you know what? Just watch. Even that, if you're not a commenter, which I get, and you can't be bothered to press a like, I even get that, or subscribe, that's fine. But if you could watch, that'd be great. So yeah, so now that I've got all that out of the way, this is the devastating October Perez story. It is a child. It is devastating. It's not a clickbait. It's when I say devastating, whenever I use them headers, devastating, brutal, heartbreaking, it's not just words I'm throwing out there. It genuinely is. So I'm going to begin now. So October Ann Perez, she was born on the 10th of January 2009 in Montana in the US. Her mum, Christy Perez. Now, Christy herself, Christy Perez, she was actually married to a guy called Freddie Perez. All right, and they had a son together. But when she got pregnant with October, Freddie was a bit suspicious. He'd been suspicious that she might have been cheating for a while anyway. So when she had October in the January, he did a paternity test, and straight away he realised October's not his child. He had an inkling that she was cheating, she was messing about on him. So he did find out that no, October wasn't his. He was obviously very gutted over it. And October's biological dad was actually a man by the name of Michael Arndt. Now it's Arndt. It's quite hard to pronounce, but I'm pronouncing it Arndt. Okay. Now Christy and Michael, it was literally just an affair. There was no relationship to be had. But Freddie, he obviously couldn't get past it. And neither should he have. So him and Christy separate, okay? Now, like I say, she'd been lying to him. She'd been saying, I'm not cheating, everything else. She tried to fight it, but when the paternity test came back and it's there in black and white, she had to own up and everything else. And yeah, they separated. So, now, like I say, October's father was a man called Michael Arndt. Michael was actually on active duty, okay? He was in the military, and he was on active duty in Afghanistan. So it must have been when he'd come back on leave or whatever when this had happened. So obviously she let Michael know, and everything else, that October was his. Once she realised that she couldn't pass October off as Freddie's, she let Michael know, and Michael let his family know. Now, Michael's mum is a lady by the name of April Hall. Okay, now I am throwing a lot of names at you. I will do a recap. But the names I'm throwing at you, a couple of them you won't hear again. So you don't need to think, well, who was that and who was that, okay? So, like I say, he was on tour in Afghanistan, but his mum, this was her first grandchild. So, of course, she was excited to meet October, and she does, and she dotes on her, okay? Now, as for Christy, rather than concentrating on her two children, obviously, her son that she'd had with Freddie, and now a daughter she's had with Michael, rather than concentrating on these two children, no, she moves on very quickly. She does. She moves on very quickly, does Christy. And she starts a new relationship with a man called, I have done the fingers went up when I said man, okay? But with a man called David Wayne Hyslop, okay? And this was about 2010. These two got together. So all very, very quickly, okay? Now, by this time, little October's nearly 2, all right? Now, although Michael, as I've said, was on active duty in Afghanistan, he would see October every chance he got. Anytime he'd be home on leave, he'd see her. And she was very doted on by her paternal family. I will say that. And her maternal family, her grandmother on her mum's side, on Christy's side, she doted on her too. She was very loved from her external family, okay? Now, during, like I say, even though he was on tour in Afghanistan, April being Michael's mum, would be October's paternal grandmother. Okay, she would get to see October during what would be Michael's visitation. So she was seeing her instead of Michael, basically. Now, like I say, April doted on her. All the family did. And they nicknamed her Toby. So, October, Toby. Now, I'm not going to call her that. I think it was a family nickname. And, I didn't hear that was a nickname everyone used. I believe it was just the paternal family. So, I'm still going to refer to, little October as October. All right? Now, April noticed a change in October once David entered her life. So she'd got to know this little girl pretty much very early days once the paternity test had been done by Freddie and realised it was Michael's daughter and she was introduced to the family. April just doted on her. So when David come into Christy in October's life and the little boy, we don't know much about him. We don't know much about the little boy who would be October's older brother. April noticed a real change. Remember, April's the grandmother. And she just didn't feel great about it. Now, Michael himself, he only met David once or twice, and he said he didn't have a good feeling about him at all. But he's not here. He's coming home for sort of 2 weeks at a time, and then he's back off to Afghanistan. He's back on tour with the military. So his hands were kind of tied. He didn't know, but he said he didn't have a good feeling about this guy anyway. Okay. Now, Christy and the kids, when her and Freddie broke up, which don't forget that was her husband, when they broke up, he moved out and left her in the house. Now, I don't know what the situation was, whether that was a rental. I'm assuming it was, because Christy moves out with her 2 kids and she moves into a house that David's living in. Okay. Now, let me describe this situation. David is living in a 1-bedroom house, and you might be like, oh, that's a lot, David, Christy, and the 2 kids. Yes, it is, and yes, it would be, but it's not just them, because also living in that house is David's brother, Kendall, his name is, and Kendall's girlfriend, Janetta. So there's actually 6 living in that home. There are 4 adults, 2 children, and 2 dogs living in a 1-bedroom house. Now, I've seen a picture of the house. It looks a real quaint, pretty little thing from the outside anyway. It does look small. I wouldn't have guessed it was only a 1-bed from the picture. I mean, it is quite small. But yeah, that's where they were all living. Okay. Now, because of the sleeping situation within that home, I believe Kendall and his girlfriend had the one and only bedroom there, which left David, Christy, and the 2 kids, October and her older brother, all to live, sleep. I mean, obviously they could use the other facilities within the house, the kitchen and the living room and everything, but where they slept and spent a lot of their time was down in the basement. Okay, so this 1-bedroom house did have a basement. Now, for me to hear a basement, it's like, oh, because we don't tend to have basements in England. I mean, I suppose the bigger houses do, but they're not things we really have as a matter of course. But in America, I believe, like, to have a basement isn't unusual, and for the most part, they're called a finished basement, where it's been plastered, it's been decorated, it's got carpet, and it's just an entirely, you know, they can be as big as an apartment sometimes because they're the whole length and width of the house, aren't they? But this wasn't that. Okay. So the walls, I've seen pictures of this house. So I'm not just throwing this out there and being judgmental. I've seen this house. It's a hole. It's an absolute hole. It's disgusting. And this basement was just, it was crumbling. The walls were crumbling. Water was dripping down the walls. It was just absolutely vile. I'll tell you more about it, but it was awful. All 4 adults in the house were also doing drugs, Christy included. So it just wasn't a good place. It certainly wasn't a good place to be bringing up 2 children. Okay. Now, every time October would visit her nan, April, she'd be covered in grime from the house. She'd be smelling of weed. She'd be she'd be really dirty when she'd turn up, okay? But not only this, April had started to notice she wasn't just covered in grime, she was covered in bruises, okay? So when she'd come in, April would kind of bath October straight away. She'd stick her in a big bubble bath, which October loved. You know, she'd wash the clothes she turned up in. And what she'd do, she'd put her into new clothes. But April said she didn't like to send October back in these clothes um, because they were new. She wasn't sure if they were going to be sold for drugs or whatever. So she used to wash the clothes that October would be, that October would be wearing when she'd pick her up. She'd wash them, and that's what she'd send her back in. But while she was in her house, she put her in new clothes. And, October, I heard somewhere, like, it said that October it would have been like Christmas every time she was going to April's home from the hole she was living in. It's just very, very sad to think of this little girl, like, walking into a house and being able to have a bath from being covered in filth. But that's not just the concern. Like I say, she was turning up with bruises as well. And every time April would bring this up to Christy, she'd have a ready-made excuse at the ready. Oh, she bumped her head, or she fell, or she tripped, or this happened, or the dog did it. There was always a ready-made excuse for these bruises and scratches that were on this child. Now, another occasion, October, when she turned up, she had cuts to her lips and cuts all in her mouth. Okay. Now, April, what she'd been doing was taking photos of everything. She was documenting everything because she knew this was terrible. This wasn't right. So she was documenting everything. And from what she was seeing, what she was thinking, and when she was talking to her son Michael, the thought process was they were going to go for full custody of this child. They could see it had gone downhill. I don't think that would have been something that they'd have gone for had Christy not met David. I don't think so at all. I think they'd have been happy to have like a joint custody and visitation or whatever else. But I think given how things were going, yeah, I think, that's when it became like, we've got to get this child out of there. Okay. So April does call Child Services, DFS, I think it's called, a Department of Family Services. Now we get to January the 11th, 2011. Little October turned 2 the day before, and her dad came home from only for a fortnight, but he came home from Afghanistan, and it was, it was a whole big celebration. And when April went to pick up October to bring her to the airport to meet Michael, Christy, she looked a bit frazzled, and she was like, can you just hang on to her for a little while I try and find somewhere else to live? Now, nothing came of this. Nothing came of this at all. I mean, April 1 was very happy to keep October for as long as needed, but also she was relieved. It looked like if she was moving out, maybe her and David had finished. It looked quite positive at that moment. Now, like I say, nothing came of it. So whether they just had an argument at that time and Christy had been like, yeah, I'm going to move out, but it wasn't to be. Okay. Now, with Michael home, they began the legal proceedings to get sole custody. They got all the paperwork and everything else. Now, Child Services, the child service worker who came out at this point was very, very helpful, it was said. And she went to do a check on the house that obviously Christy was living in with David and the 2 children and David's brother and his fiance. Okay. Now, as I said, it was a hole, and I've seen the pictures. I've seen the video. It's awful, awful house. Now, as I said, it only had 1 bedroom. There was weed plants in that basement as well. as I said, the walls were leaking water. It was the whole house was just a shade of brown with it dripping down. They said that was from smoking. And obviously the dripping down, they weren't cleaning in any way. When the child service worker checked where little October was sleeping, she was actually sleeping in that basement with Christy and David, like her mum and David, on a broken bed frame, with a mattress that had a tear in it. There was dirty nappies all around the place. You could see the washer and the dryer just behind her. It was just she was kind of boxed in, just in a corner of this basement. It was just clutter everywhere. And this is where they were staying. It was just absolutely awful. Now, as I said, Christy never ended up moving out. She didn't. And while October was staying with April, and it turns out for only a very short time, but she loved it. She absolutely loved it. And April was trying her best to teach October to talk. Because even though she was 2, she wasn't talking at all. Now, while she had her, she got her to say Dada, but she didn't really get her to speak much more than that. Now, Christy hadn't bothered at all. So whether she just wasn't talking to her, I mean, we know children are like sponges, so I don't understand why she wasn't able to pick up any speech. So I'm assuming her mum just wasn't talking to her at all. Now it says that little October loved playing, she loved dancing, she loved playing with the dog. It's just said she was just a little pleasure. She really was. She was very cute, beautiful little girl. And back to that house, that hole she's living in, there was actually maggots in the fridge. And so she's at this beautiful home. She's living her best life there. And then contrast to that, this is the home that Christy said she's got to go back to. Now, all of this, that house was documented by the child service worker, but Christy was furious. She was livid that this worker had come round. She knew that it must have been April that had done it. So that's why she said, I want her back. And unfortunately, April didn't have a leg to stand on, and she had to send October back to that hole. Okay. And she stopped April seeing October for probably a few weeks after that. So we get to February of 2011. Okay. Now, I think is it February? Yes, February. Sorry. April was allowed a visit with October. Okay. So I know it can get in a bit confusing because we're saying the month of February and then we're saying April and October. So the month of February, April, the grandmother, October is obviously the little girl we're talking about. And Christy had finally said, right, okay, you can visit with her. So April jumps at the chance, drives straight over there. October's in her car seat, she's put into the car, and April brings her back to her house. But when she tries to get her out of the car seat, October just screaming bloody murder. She's obviously in pain. She's in a lot of distress, and she won't come out of the car seat. She can't. Like, it's obvious she's in a lot of pain. So April called Christy, and she says, "Look, I've got to take this child to the hospital, and you are coming with us." And Christy tried to get out of it a little bit, but in the end she agreed, and she met them at the hospital. And when they get there, obviously little October's still in a lot of pain, and an x-ray's done. And she had a broken arm. Her arm was broken. That's why she was in the pain she was in. Okay. Of course, Christy's like, oh, I don't know how that would happen. Your child's 2 and she's got a broken arm, and you've got no idea how that happened. But when Christy went outside for a minute, April asked the doctor to call child services again, okay, to make that report again, so it's all on record. And the doctor did it. And October was placed with April whilst Child Services did an investigation. Okay. So it's looking like, especially with the child service worker they had as well, with the doctor's recommendation as well, it should have all gone in the right direction. It should have. But it was no longer the same case manager looking after October. No. It was a new case manager called Rachel. All right. Now, Rachel decided to take Christy's side. This new case manager did. Now, I haven't seen that. I'm saying that. You'll see why I'm saying I believe she took her side. Because she didn't want to hear anything from April. April was trying to tell her what had been going on over the past year and the photos she had. And she was trying to explain, look, have you seen the house? Have you seen the photos that have been taken about, the house and everything else from the previous case manager? Rachel didn't want to know. Rachel wanted to do her own investigating. Okay. And there was a follow-up that was done, and a full body scan was done on October. Okay. It appears that her other arm, not the one we know was broken, the other one had also been broken in the recent past, sorry. And it had began to heal. It had actually begun to heal itself because it had never been treated. She'd never got any help for it. So all we can presume is that was in the time that Christy had cut April off for a few weeks and her daughter's arm had got broken and she just ignored it. And then obviously when she'd said to April, right, okay, you can come and take her, and the second arm had been highlighted, that's how the first one showed up. And they checked records. She'd never got her any medical help for it at all. She's 2 and she's got 2 broken arms. I mean, but the Rachel, again, when obviously April's like, come on, this has got to be enough now. She says, no, actually, I want you to return. Oh, because don't forget, April's looking after her after the first hospital visit. And she says, I want you to return October to her mum in 20 minutes because it's unfounded. I haven't got, there's not enough evidence for anything here. The X-rays of the 2 broken arms. Yeah, but we don't know who's done that. So return her to her mum. You've got 20 minutes to do it. Oh, I mean, so because of everything that had gone on, even though the doctors made reports saying, look, these breaks are suspicious and everything else, because of all of this, Christy again decides April can't see October again. So she pulls her back again. And 2 months go by this time. So it was only a couple of weeks the last time. Now it's a couple of months. All right. And April's finally allowed to see October. Now, this time when she sees her, now don't forget the last time when there'd been she'd been stopped seeing her. First time she sees her, but her arms broke. Then they realise her other arms broke. This time when she turns up, she's got a missing tooth and she's got a chunk of hair that looks like it's been ripped out of her head. She's 2. How's she got a missing tooth? Kids don't lose their teeth at 2. They're just getting them. They certainly don't lose one unless it's extreme dental neglect. Well, someone's knocked that out. So Christy actually says, for the hair, God knows what excuse she made for the tooth, but for her hair, she said it was a medical reason. It's a medical reason why she's losing her hair. So April takes her to the doctors and she has some blood tests done. And no, there was no medical reason for this child to be losing her hair whatsoever. Okay. Now, the whole paternal family are concerned. They are. And they all start calling Rachel at child services. Again, oh, look, you're getting this wrong. You're getting it really badly wrong. You've got to get this child out of that house. You have to. But again, she wasn't worried. And she wouldn't agree to a dentist visit regarding the missing tooth either. What was she worried about? What was she? Now, I believe Christy didn't want that dental visit to happen, but why didn't Rachel? She's supposed to be neutral. Well, she's not even supposed to be neutral. She's supposed to be on the side of the child. Now, I understand you might get vindictive family members against a mum. I get that. We've done cases like that. I understand that. But you're supposed to be doing it on behalf of the child. And when you're seeing all this, make them both come to the dentist. Make Christy and April come to the dentist. View them both in front of you. But she doesn't do that. And this is what I was saying. I believe she 100% took Christy's side. Whatever excuse Christy had given to her, I believe that she took her side, even though I haven't seen that. I haven't read that anywhere. Now, April, during this time, was trying to push the custody paperwork through on behalf of Michael, because I think she realised things were just escalating. Things were getting worse, okay? So in April of 2011 now, some of that paperwork was sent to Christy, because obviously she has to be made aware, that Michael's going for sole custody. She's livid. She's absolutely livid, loses her mind, stops April seeing little October again. She's like, you're not seeing her again, okay? Now, because she wasn't getting to see little October, Freddie, now remember Freddie was Christy's husband, wasn't he, who she's now separated from. Now, the son, who is October's older brother, I haven't mentioned a lot about him. I don't know a lot about him. Now, I believe he had, within this time, gone to live with Freddie. So he'd got out of there, all right? But Freddie would still go around there. I don't know whether he was bringing the son to visit Christy, maybe. I don't know why he'd let his child in that house anyway. But he would take photos of little October and he'd send them to April. See, all the external people involved in this all got on. They were all on the one mind frame. Get her out of that house. All of them, they're not related. There's no sort of relationship between any of them, but they all were trying to work on behalf of this little girl. Okay. And he, like I say, sent photos to April of little October, and by then she had 3 teeth missing. Let me remind you again, she's 2. How could a 2-year-old have 3 teeth missing? Even dental neglect at 2 years of age, I can't believe your teeth would fall out that quickly. I really don't. So there's only one other reason, Now everyone at this point was calling Rachel in child services. Everybody, the doctors had called her. April was calling her. Freddie had made a call. Michael was making a call. Freddie's not October's dad, as we know. Michael is. They're all calling child services. They're all calling Rachel and begging her to go round. She's like, oh, I've been going round. There's no way that girl was going into that house. That Rachel from child services. There's no way she was going into that house. Or she's the worst child advocate ever. But all them reports that everyone made and 0 was done. 0. Nothing. It's just a real shame that the original child service care worker who was working on behalf of April and October It's a real shame. I don't know if she was moved off the case. I don't know if she left. I don't know if she promoted. I don't know what happened. But it's a real shame that this Rachel came into play. She was just blocking everything. Well, we get to the 23rd of June 2011. Okay. So it's only 2 months after April's been stopped seeing October again. Okay. And remember, during this time, she sees that she's had another 2 teeth knocked out. That's what it looks like. I'm going to say it. I don't know for definite, but it's what it appears to be, doesn't it? 3 teeth look like they have been knocked out of this child's mouth. And October was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition. Okay. Now we go back earlier in the day at about 3 p.m. Okay, so we're still on the 23rd of June, but we're just going back to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. David had been babysitting October while April was out. I've heard she was doing some training for a job or something or other. And what he'd done, he'd taken October down to the basement for a nap, to put her for a nap. All right. And then when Christy got home, now Christy was gone about 3 hours out of that house. And when she got home, she could hear October whimpering, kind of whimpering, crying quite quietly, but she could hear her. Now, don't forget, October's down in the basement. Christy could hear her from the ground floor. So it's like she's got to have been whimpering pretty loud, no? And did she go down and see her? No, because David said, no, leave her. She's having a nightmare. And Christy, Mummy Dearest, was like, oh, okay then, she's fine. Someone, if I had my child whimpering and crying and someone had the audacity to pass it off as a nightmare, but okay, it's a nightmare, you don't just leave them. You go and try and wake them up and comfort them. You don't leave them in a nightmare. But she does, and her and David go out for something to eat, okay? I don't know if they eat out or if they collect food and bring it back. I'm not too sure. I've just heard they go out for food, right? When they come back, you think, oh, well, now she's got to be checking on her. No, she still doesn't check on her, because her and David decide that's the ideal time for them to go and have a little bit of special time together. Now, remember, they're all in the basement. So they would have been doing this while that little girl was probably a couple of feet away on that bed, whimpering in agony. And that's what her mum was doing while that was happening. Oh, God. So only then, when all that was done, Christy goes over and she tries to wake October up. She said she was still kind of whimpering, but she wouldn't open her eyes. And October doesn't respond. So Christy calls 911, and in the call she's saying she's breathing, but she's limp. This is what she's saying on the 911 call. So on arrival, them paramedics walking into that house and having to go down to the basement and find this little girl is just, I mean, I don't know if they brought her up, because to allow them to go downstairs, I don't know. But it was noted that when they turned up that she was rigid. She wasn't limp at all. She was rigid. And apparently that's a sign of a brain injury, which I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that. But apparently, yes, if you're rigid, that's a brain injury, not obviously limp must mean something else, but this is what this means. Now, April herself, she was in New York at this time. I think she was out visiting. She was doing something in New York. And this is when she found out that little October had been rushed to the hospital. So she gets in touch with her niece. And she asked her to go to the hospital straight away until she can get there. Now, Christy at this point had said that it was a fall whilst in the basement. She'd fell and she'd banged her head in the basement. That's what she originally said. And then she says, actually, no, she bumped her head on the pavement. While she was walking on the pavement, she fell over and banged her head. So there's 2 stories for you, okay? Now, on the 24th of June, 2011, so the next day now, April's niece calls April just to say it really doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. I don't think she's going to. I don't think she's going to live. She'd been transferred to a children's hospital, as this was way more than a bump on the head. All right. It was a catastrophic trauma to her brain and her spine. That's what this was. So the hospital she'd been in didn't have the facilities to treat that. So she was transferred to a children's hospital. But unfortunately, on the 25th of June, 2011, so she fought for 2 days. Okay. But she had been on life support. And unfortunately, October and Perez died. And Michael, her dad, he didn't make it back in time. He really tried as well, it was said. Don't forget, he was coming back from Afghanistan. And he just didn't make it back in time. Oh, it's just awful. Now, David was arrested because the police weren't looking at anybody else. When they spoke to him, initially, when October had been brought to the hospital, he says, oh, I think it might be food poisoning, you know. I think it might have been hot dogs that she had. What are you talking about? Then he'd said about her, she bumped her head in the basement, and then with everything, every time they'd argue something with him, he'd change whatever to try and suit what they were saying. He wasn't telling the truth at all. Now, Kendall, which obviously is David's brother, who he was living with, who they were all living with, he said that what had actually happened on the 23rd, so we go back again 2 days, when David, he had taken October down for a nap, he had done that, but while he was down there, Kendall had heard him basically screaming at October for her to go to sleep. Then he heard thumping and banging down there, and October really crying. And when David had come back up the stairs from the basement, Kendall had been like, what was that banging? And he was like, oh, I banged my head. I banged my head on some wood down there. And Kendall was like, right. Now, this is what Kendall told the police, okay? Now, as I said, David had told the police he dropped her, but eventually he said he dropped her by accident. He dropped her on her head in the basement. Now, the basement was concrete floor. But even if that had been the truth, and it said that if he'd have done that and it had been an accident, why didn't he call 911? Why did he try and cover it up? Why did he try and stop Christy going down to see her daughter when she came in? You know, all these things. But there's no way it could have been that, because her injuries told a completely different story. Okay. Now, the autopsy showed that she had trauma to her head that had caused blood to pool in her skull and her brain to swell. All right. She also had a catastrophic spinal injury. All right. The medical examiner said it looked like her body had been bent backwards over a hard surface. Okay. Both her big and her small toes had been broken. She had bruises and abrasions head to toe. And unbelievably, there was another spinal injury that was a few days old, that was in the process of healing. Her back was broken twice. This child's back was broken twice. Now, we go back to her broken arm. Now, Christy was there in the hospital when her arm, she had the x-ray and she saw her arm had been broken. But don't forget, she already had another broken arm, okay? So now her back's broken, all right? And she's passed away. And you might be like, well, Christy wasn't there when it happened. And she wasn't. It's been proven she wasn't there. She was out. I think she was at some sort of interview. But she was where she said she was. But where was she when her child's back was broken days beforehand? Where was she then? And why didn't she get her any help? Why didn't she get her help when the first arm got broke? And the second arm, it was April that got the help, not Christy. Her back was broken twice. Separately, separate occasions. The medical examiner actually said it was the worst broken back they'd ever seen on a child. It's the worst they'd ever seen. Now we get to July of 2011. David pleads not guilty. Marvellous, marvellous. And the trial goes ahead on the 23rd of April 2012. Now the defence, David's defence, they actually, because there were other adults in the home at that time. Now, okay, Christy wasn't there, but his brother Kendall was there and his girlfriend or fiance was there too. So the defence was, look, I can't argue what's happened to this child. It's obvious. So it's obviously this wasn't an accident, but doesn't mean it was him that did it. You know, this is the route they were going. And they were pushing for him to only get a 10-year sentence if found guilty. Marvellous. Prosecution brought through many witnesses. You had April brought forward, her niece, Michael. There was a lot of people brought forward for the prosecution. And on the 4th of May 2012, so it took about 2 weeks, David found guilty. Okay. Now, Michael, obviously October's dad, who was home for the trial and everything else, he said he didn't want the death penalty gone after. He wanted him to live. He wanted him to live with what he'd done. So it's a different way of thinking about it, but I completely understand. And the prosecution themselves were like, okay, so they were going for 100 years. That's what they wanted him to get. And after he was found guilty, that's exactly what he got. He got 100 years with no chance of parole. I've got to admit, it's American justice system. You know, we've had a few cases recently where I haven't been happy with the sentences, but I can say, you know, but death sentence, you can't ask for any more. He did try and appeal it, audacity, 7 years later in 2019, but the appeal was denied. Now, the family themselves thought Christy and Child Services, that Rachel, you know, they were also to blame. It was said that Child Services were actually an accomplice to this. And, oh, that Rachel, oh my God. I'd love to know what she had to say when this happened, when October was murdered, was eventually murdered, and she had so many chances to help her, and she didn't. I'd love to know what she said, but we don't know. And she actually resigned from her post. Luckily, no one else had to deal with this woman being their case manager for a child. Now April, she worked tirelessly after October died. She She just never wanted this to be a thing. She, you know, she was fighting against child abuse itself. She started off a petition where to get signatures so that if, I don't think it got passed, but it was so if a family wasn't happy with a case manager, they could appeal it type deal. I think that's what it was. But she also founded Toby's house, obviously in October's name. And what Toby's house is, it actually took 10 years to get up and running. All right. I think it opened in 2021. But she persevered. She persevered and she got everything in place. And what it is, it's a non-profit crisis nursery. And it's open from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight. All right. And the ages of the children they take in is 0 to 6. And it's for working families or families just really struggling, where they can just drop off their children. You can just drop them off, don't have to pay, you know, and it's just it's like a safe house for children just to be dropped off. I don't believe there's any questions asked. They can be dropped off, not to keep, but where parents can have a break, or if they need to work and they can't afford childcare. It's a fantastic idea. It genuinely is. And through donations and fundraisers, they get, you know, nappies and cleaning supplies and blankets and clothes and food and everything donated to Toby's house, where these children can be looked after, and it's to help curb child abuse and neglect. That's why she did it. And I just thought, I say it all the time. Like, after something like this, to have the strength to carry on and go forward and do something like that. And I've heard of charities and things being done in children's name and grandchildren's name, but this, I think, is just amazing. Not that those other things aren't. I'm just saying this is amazing. I really hope it's something that can be rolled out in different places, and, you know, throughout the states, and oh goodness, throughout the states and through you know, the world. Right? How amazing would that be, just for these families that are struggling and are on the edge, you know, just to be like, right, I need help. I need help with my child. I just think fantastic, you know. I just got to give it to April. I think it's amazing. But yeah, that was the devastating October Perez story. Just very, very, very sad, and completely, what's the word I'm looking for? It could have been completely stopped. It didn't need to happen. It's not like she was hidden. It's not like no one knew. You know, it was out there, and child services knew it, and doctors knew it, and everyone. And I can't help but think of that poor little girl every time she was sent back. It's just utterly heartbreaking. It really is. It genuinely is. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. If you want to drop a comment in, that'd be great. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm back again next week. And I'll see you then. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. How we doing, guys? How we doing? What's going on? I couldn't see any comments. How are we? Oh, you want about the story? Sorry about the noise. A lot of noise going on. But how are we? How are we all? Is it still Jess, Phil and Tiffany? Have we got anyone else? I thought I saw Tyler out the corner. Did Tyler come in again? Or am I making that up? I could have swore I saw him come in as I'd started. But I don't know. I don't know now. Have I made that up? Let me sort this out. I thought he did. I thought he did. How did that go? Did he have to get... I do have a doorbell. I do. It's very loud. I normally turn my notifications off, but I completely forgot to know. And I don't know who was there. There's someone going out, but I'll have them in a minute over it. He did submit, but that ain't me also. I'm okay. I'm okay. It wasn't you. Did he just go? Oh, I need to put this on. It's because Phil's here tonight. Phil's here tonight. It's not just the girls, that's why. He was like, oh, I better get out of here. Do you? Yes. Yes. I've got to admit, they're a nightmare, to be honest, Jessica. They're all right, but they miss so much stuff. It drives me crazy. Because I'm very nosy. I'm a very nosy person. And sometimes I'll try and catch something and he hasn't caught it. So it drives me crazy. Yes, he said hi and literally said, oh, right, okay. I wonder if it was Phil. I wonder if it's because Phil was there. I wonder if that's what it was. And he was like, can't do it tonight because the husband's in tonight. I wonder if that's what it was. Kind of like my mum sometimes. Who? The doorbell? Is it me? Have I missed that? I can't remember what I said. Phil saved us tonight. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking that. Maybe he was like, yeah, better not stick around there. Better not. I'm going to get shouted at. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I'm going to kill him. I'll shout at them after. It's okay. I'll shout at them after. Can you hear it as loud as I do? Can you... That's terrible as well, because even when I now put this up on my pre-recorded, that's going to be there. So, someone's going to get shouted at when I get off the phone. When I get off the live. Oh, it's so warm though, isn't it? Trying my best not to get warm, honestly. Oh, did he? It's really sad, isn't it? It was really, really sad. It was this one. He did with me. I think because she was so close to being helped. That's what it did get me. I thought it was my double top. I bet all of you were kind of looking, weren't you? That's what's going to happen. When I re-upload it or anyone watching it, they're going to check their own doorbell. Yeah, it's like we're in the living room with you. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I normally do. I normally put my do not disturb on. I don't know why I forgot tonight. I completely forgot. I'm normally quite good with it now. I think everyone has. I think everyone's got that sound, haven't they? So everyone just darts towards the door. Hopefully then, when I do upload the story, people will just think it's theirs. They won't think it's mine. I don't know if that's better or not. I don't know. But are we okay? Yes, it was a very sad story though. That really hard one this was. But I'm very hot. Did we say what we're doing the weekend then, guys? I know, Phil, you're not working. Is there sport on then? Have we got sport this weekend, Phil? And Tiffany, what are you doing? Jessica, what are you doing the weekend? What you've got? Jessica, what's your weather like? Because we're going through our summer now, and our summer's like the sun tries to kill you. That's our summer. It's not like a normal summer elsewhere where you get a bit of a breeze and it's just a normal summer. Ours is like it's a heavy heat tries to kill you. I can tell you, but not to stay. Oh, why can't you tell? Okay, tell me what it is. Secret. Oh, I know. Oh, I do know. Your mum told me. Your mum. I do know, actually. Yes, I do know. Completely forgot. That's really nice. I says to Mum, that's really, really nice. That's exciting, that is. So, my mum, your mum. So I was like, Don't blame me, it was your mum. What I was going to say, so does that mean you get a relaxing weekend? Is that what that means? To get like a real chilled weekend? Because that sounds great. That sounds great, that does. You got something to tell me, sis. I told you ages ago. I said who you was. Wimbledon. Ooh, tennis. Okay. That means my mum will be watching it. My mum, not Tiffany's. Oh yeah, my mum, I'm pretty sure she gets into tennis as well. I'm pretty sure she does. I know tennis and cricket, she really likes them too. And obviously football's her fave anyway. But yes, I'm pretty sure she watches that too. Absolutely not in. Want to go out on Saturday as well. Oh, really? Will you get to? I'm sure you can, depending on where they're going, no? It's great there because you can bring kids everywhere, can't you? So I suppose it doesn't keep you in. Speaking of doorbells, my mum just came over to me a while ago and asked me what she heard, and I said it was from the TV. I had to turn you off to avoid her hearing. I'm back now. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry, Jessica. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you not got earpiece in then? Sue likes tennis. Does she like tennis too? Oh, so do you watch it together, Phil? Oh, that's nice. Yes, I don't blame you. Invade, I nearly swore then with you. Yes, invade. You should. Just invite yourself. Oh, that'll be nice, Phil. See, I'm not, obviously my mum lives far away, but I still wouldn't sit and watch tennis. Tennis is just, don't get it. I don't get it. It's the equivalent of cricket for me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And that's as far as I go. I've never played it. It hurts my hands. The racket hurts my hand. I used to like badminton. I like badminton. I used to be quite good at that. Many, many moons ago. And the racket was much lighter. See, I'll say all this and we'll be in on Saturday. I know. It'll get to Saturday afternoon. You'll be like, do you know what? Can't be bothered. Just do what you do when we're there and get ready first thing. When you get out of the shower, get ready to go. That's all right. I turned on TV play. Oh, okay. I've got you, Jessica. I've got you. Oh, my God. See my face on your TV. That's got to be crazy. Sharon does that as well. She puts me on her telly and I'm like, oh, my God, this face on full screen. It must be frightening. You know me so well. I'm going nowhere. Yeah, I don't believe you are. Just do it. Just do it now. I'm going to be disappointed because you can go. You've got a place to go. Just go. I'm going to be disappointed if you don't now. Oh, God, he's right. I'm going to let you. Got smart TV is the thing now. So, I know, but it's just my face on it, though. Yeah, we were both in, then we try and listen together. Very easy sport to follow, though. Oh, that's not... So, does your mum... Can your mum watch it, Phil? Is your mum... Can your mum see? Is that nosy? But does your mum have to listen or can she watch it? PJs and the TV and the Milanos. Milanos, stop that now. Go out. Don't you dare order from that place. Can't believe it's still going. Ugh, I'm getting stuff come through and everything. Just stop it. Can you see anything coming through on my WhatsApp? Everyone's at it now. My God, between the door and messages coming through. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but you're not allowed to order from there. And yeah, does your mum? Yeah, oh, right, okay. So your mum will watch it and you watch it with her, but you listen. Did you eat from Kinky Bab? And Kinky Bab rules. I will not have you say anything about Kinky Bab. I will not have you say anything. They should pay me because I've mentioned them a few times on here. And Milano should. They both should. Do you know what? Show the driver this, that they've had a shout out on YouTube. You might get free dinner. no, don't show Milano's actually, because I haven't said anything nice about them. But we can show Kinky Bath. I was just thinking that God, don't show them. They'll never serve you again. Oh dear. But oh, that's nice though, Phil. That sounds lovely. That sounds a nice weekend. Not for me, but look, the relaxing side of it, that's for me. So I think that's lovely. That's very nice. Tiffany, you have to go out. That's what you have to do. Jessica, what are you doing before I go? What? I know. But Jessica didn't tell us what she's doing. Tell me really quickly what you're doing the weekend, Jessica, before I go. Let me turn this off. It's very loud. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jessica? Are you going anywhere? Are you doing anything nice? What do you Americans do where you're from at the weekend? What do you do nice? You're young. What do you do? Hurry up, Jessica. Come on. I want to know what young Americans do on a Saturday. Tell me now, or I've got to go. I'll tell you what, I'll do the jingle while we're waiting. So thank you so much for joining me. If you could drop a like or a comment in, that'd be amazing. Or you could, look, comment and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe. Look, comment and subscribe, please, guys. I smiled that time though. That's why I don't do lives on my channel, not only to avoid showing myself out there, but also because I don't have quite appropriate set. Oh, okay. Well, neither do I, Jessica. As you've just seen, I don't have a quiet one either, so just go for it. I just hang around in my house. Do you know what? Same as us, Jessica. You look, you're in good company. We're all just hanging around the house. That's all we're doing this weekend, but all have a good time. Thank you so much for joining me, Phil, and Tiffany, my moderator extraordinaire, and Jessica, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next Tuesday. And you can tell me about your tennis and hanging around your house. But with tennis, there's so much saying left and right, so that's so easy to follow, even if you can't say. Do you know what? Because I don't follow it, I don't know. But it sounds. You can tell me that. You can tell me who won on Tuesday, and I'll try and follow it, Phil. But I'm sure my mum will tell me anyway, because she'll be watching it. And I hope you and Sue have a lovely weekend. Okay, I'm going out. Plus I have a speech problem that prevents one from understanding me. Oh, Jessica, I don't believe that. I believe you'd be perfectly fine. But anyway, I'm going to go, otherwise Tiffany's going to lose her mind. So I will see you all next Tuesday. Have a fantastic weekend. Stop it now. Take care. Bye. Love yous. Before she loses her mind. Take care, guys. Bye.